Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. I am Gat, your host. Another user has requested, another viewer has requested the Scorpio full moon, May 18th, 2019, natal chart update, but also analysis. How is this Scorpio moon going to affect you? It's all on your natal chart. I remember a gentleman asked me to do his moon. I did a moon sign reading. And I knew he had a third party in his life, like a third woman, and he sure did. He was married to his twin flame, but he had a soulmate. And you could see it on the chart. And he couldn't believe it, that I would know that. You're not going to trick Mother Universe. You're not going to trick God. You're not going to trick the real spirit. Because the real spirit shows you how to do it. And when you see people on my channel, that's how you do it. Do your natal chart. That's your blueprint for life. If you want to know anything about your life, it'll be on that blueprint. Even if you get a reading, you would still have your natal chart. And you can still go back to your chart. And it'll still be on there. Especially when you're dealing like I did with the Archangel cards. But when you're dealing with the spirit, they're showing you. They're telling you what zodiac signs to look for and all that. It's going to be all on your chart. So that's why I can't change what I do. Even though a lot of people don't understand it. I don't change what I do because I know it's the correct way. And I've seen too many people reunited with the twins and stuff like that. But like I said, I'm very honest about it. It's not going to always be happy, everybody in love, running around, singing. It's going to be struggle and work just like anything else in life. All right. Now, what I did for this person, I sent them 4 links. Because I have a part 1, part 2 video that I gave. And that covered the whole full moon and all zodiac signs, but that was only for clients or people who purchased it. That's still available. But then I had another video that is public that's about full moons. I think I had 2 that I found on my channel. One's about 2 guys, 1 gal, and then another one was I forget, it was another Scorpio full moon. But like I said, we will be doing this one as well. And this one will be public as well. All right. So on that day, it's a little unique because the ascendant is going to be in the 12th house of Libra. Libra represents relationships, partnerships, agreements, contracts, law, courtrooms. Justice, social issues, fairness, open enemies, and cemeteries. But when it's in the 10th house, it's going to be all about karma. The number 23 is a unique number. It can be a witty person, a good communicator. But it could also mean like something coming out of nowhere, almost like chaos. Palace retrograde is social issues. So you will have people interested in social issues. Even in twin flame, Palace retrograde is still about Palace direct would be the more mature soulmate, and he would be more interested in, or he or she would be more interested in relationship issues, but he's more mature. That's what Palace represents for twin flames. Now, Palace retrograde, again, you have to really see people's chart, but it would still have that theme. Whether it's for it or against it, it still would have to do with a person's chart. 10 degrees is Jupiter energy or the Wheel of Fortune energy, because that's the number 10 tarot card. So the 12th house is really about bringing things out in the subconscious mind, reckoning. And it does deal with buildings. So it could, like I said, it could be a legal issue, lawful issue. Or really, like, I don't think people really understand. Really, anything could be a lawful issue. Even if you have a bill, that really is a lawful issue because that's a contract. And if the person wanted to get whatever, they could. I just heard about a lady who took sick leave and maternity leave. And I guess she was working for a company. So she took sick leave, maternity leave. And then when she had the baby, I think she decided she wasn't coming back. So that company sued her to get all that money back that she took. And that's the first time I heard that. That was crazy when I heard that. But that's why I said nowadays you got to really think, because it's just so easy to get caught up in a whole lot of stuff. And you don't realize, why I didn't realize that. But people are getting crazy. I remember I worked for a company, and when we went into that recession back in the about the earlier 2000s, we went to that recession. They started like claiming all type of bills they never would have claimed before. They was claiming. That was my job. I had to call them people, and they would think I was crazy. Oh no, we want to get paid for that. You want to get paid for that? Yeah, we want to get paid for that. I had to go on the phone and do that. So you never really know. Not that you got to worry about it, but you do have to act wisely. Because like I said, you don't need to get caught up in nothing. That's why I said, even like when you think you helping people, you got to be careful with that helping. Because them people you think you helping, they be done flipped it on you. I know somebody was giving somebody a ride home, and somebody cut the car off, and it was an accident. But even though it wasn't that person's fault, that person they was giving a ride home, they sued everybody. They sued her that she was riding with, and they sued the car that cut them off. So you doing a favor for this person. They should have had their own car. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta really think about that. It's not that you being mean or whatever else, but you really have to think about that. Even like I said, you might say, "Oh, my girlfriend gonna come over," and your girlfriend come over, her child running all through your house with his bad ass, running all through your house and fall and hit something, break something, and then she's suing your ass. And that's supposed to was your girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? So this stuff happen all the time. So that's why I'm saying that. I'm talking about it because it's in that 12th house. And it got that number 23, which could be chaotic. But it could also be a good communicator. But I just told you, that's what witty is. Witty finds opportunity. Witty finds opportunity. So you got to be careful. All right, what was that? I got to do one thing. Just give me a moment. I have to take. I'm out the red. Because I be coming to my dashboard. I was in the red. I don't even know what that junk mean. And then I look now, I'm out the red. So I'm happy about it. I don't know what that means, but at least I'm out the red. Oh! Alright. Now. Alright, because my browser just takes so long. I'm trying to do something real quick. But I'll go back to this right now. Alright. So, before we go anywhere else. Now your AC is the ascendant. That's the over the horizon. Now, if this was a natal chart, what it would be saying is your first house is Scorpio, meaning you're going to have the personality of a Scorpio. But because your ascendant is in your 12th house, you're also going to have the personality of a Libra. But the Libra is more like past life. It's stuff that needs to be finished up. That's not done yet. And the Scorpio is the present life, where you're at now. But again, a lot of relationships, because like my twin flame is a Scorpio. She's like Scorpio, strong Aries. So this moon is really going to affect her. It's going to be a powerful moon, a very emotional full moon. This will be one of the most powerful full moons of 2019. So, try to avoid drama if you can. I don't know, you tell people, some people just like drama. Like some people, they can't function without drama, so everybody's different. But if you're really not the type of person that like drama, then this might be a time you just have to keep your mouth closed. Because it's definitely going to come one way or another. And I just told you the areas it could come. You might even get a cop in a badass mood. You know how a cop stop you ain't even do nothing. And he's just trying to provoke you. Like all this stuff you got to know. Like I said, even in, courtrooms, whatever. The judge might be in a bad mood. Or bailiff might be in a bad mood. So you got to be aware of this. So that you don't allow yourself to get played out. Right, so what I'm doing real quick is I'm on my dashboard. A couple of things I got to do. Now the cursor just stopped. All right, here we go. The cursor stopped because I'm uploading this. I'm turning this video. I'm making a video right now, so sometimes when it does that, it causes my cursor to stop. All right, we're back on board. All right, so I don't have to. All right, cancel. Because it says it's private, so it says this video is only visible to you and the viewers you select. So that's what I wanted. Because before you didn't do that. Like before, I had to put on unlisted. Like back in the day, if I put it on private, only I could see it. Because I've tried it before. Well, I don't know. Because I tried it before, it wouldn't work unless I put it on unlisted. So maybe now it will. I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting out of here. Give me one moment. It's just that everything's just running real slow. All right. All right. So now when you're going to deal with Libra, you're going to deal with the 7th house to the natal chart on the right and wherever Libra is on the chart. All right, so the first thing I want to make sure, and I remember going through this, because you got to really find out where her EP is. And it is in the first house. Yep. So her first house is definitely Sagittarius. All right, give me one. I'm gonna put this on pause real quick. I'll be back. All right. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So in your 7th house, ruled by a Libra, you have Gemini. So Gemini will always be like short distance travel or small talk or dealing with like witty to the point people. So and remember, this can be what I said. Everything I said about your 7th house business could be business. It could be anybody got any type of agreement with. It don't matter how big or small, it's still an agreement. That's why I say when you do natal charts, you have to see things from the universe's viewpoint, and you have people to get upset about that. They want everything to be technical. It's not gonna be technical when you're dealing with spirit. You're dealing with spirit. You're dealing with energy. You're dealing with the universe, and all this stuff is going by universal laws. Now, is there exceptions? Probably, but you have to examine it when you have it. Now, good example was John chapter 3. Nicodemus represented a technical person. He was all about the laws and the books and the way they do things. Jesus Christ represented spirit. And this is why when Jesus Christ came, they wasn't ready for him. He shocked the world. Because everything they were doing that they thought was right, he told them it was wrong. And they wasn't trying to hear that. And even though he proved that he was who he said he was, they wouldn't accept it. But they said, listen, this is the way we always been doing it ever since Moses. How you just going to come in? And they ain't want to hear it no more. So they got rid of him. But spirit, that's why I keep trying to tell people, you have to understand what twin flames really is. It's the intellectual balancing out with the emotions. And this is why Jesus said the wind lists where it wants in John chapter 3. In other words, the spirit go where it wants to. That's why you can tell a vast difference between a female and a male. A male be worrying about a whole lot of stuff. A female, she's more like she ain't really with all that. She's more telling the male to breathe easy. Even when like the father might say, I had enough of you, boy. I told you if you messed up one more time, you're getting up out of this house. Or whatever you get ready to do to that boy, and then the mother will jump in and save him. So you're going to see that throughout the universe. Because all we are is reflections or images of them. The people who did this natal chart. The moment you realize that and begin to tap back into who you are and all this stuff, you begin to rise above third dimension. That's why I want to say, if you were to read Matthew chapter 14, they use a certain word when Peter walked on water. But if you read that chapter or whatever, it says spirit. See, in order for Peter to imitate Jesus and walk on the water, he had to get spirit. Now, if I say spirit in what y'all think is a religious context or a biblical context, y'all are trained to turn me off. But yet you'll go to these astrologers and tarot card readers on YouTube, and they say spirit all the time. And then when you place your order, you say, let me know what spirit wants me to do. So you say spirit then, but then when you apply it to scripture, you act like it's a different spirit. So y'all are deceived. Y'all are like third dimensional. And so the universe has to send somebody to try to wake you up and save you. Because this is why you're in separation and out here going crazy. Y'all are like people in the wilderness. Like in the Bible, they were out in the wilderness. And y'all keep on trying to solve your problem by going to another YouTube channel or getting another reading. But you're still in separation. You still haven't got a grip on certain things that you should have a grip on by now. Like with any investment, you expect a return. That's just common sense. So, with Gemini in your 7th house, under these universal conditions, it's going to be kind of short-witty. If you were on the phone trying to get some answers, you might find that the person attention span ain't what you would want it to be, or their sympathy for your concerns may not be what you want it to be. Because that's how Gemini is. Gemini wants you to get to the point and keep it moving. And they really ain't gonna be trying to really go deep to help you. And what I learned a long time ago is if I send somebody ain't really trying to help me, I'm not gonna stay on the phone. I just hang up and pick up and call somebody else. I've done that many times. Or what I started to do was, if I had a situation, I wouldn't just send it to one person. I would send it to like a nice amount. At least 7, maybe 10. And whoever contacted me back, that's who I would deal with. Because I know the other ones didn't give a F. Like I said, since I've been here, I've been fighting. That's why I know. Like I said, when you use common sense, like me, I'm always going to go to the best. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go to the person that actually went through the struggle. I'm not going to go to the idiot to talk a good game. He might have a lot of numbers, but I could give a freak less about his numbers. I'm trying to see what's his results. And that's why the Messiah said by their fruit. You got to look at the results. What's the fruit? But a lot of people get enchanted by the hype. So right now with Gemini in the 7th house, it is going to be kind of curt, whatever, to the point. It's not going to really be deep. So be careful, because even if somebody's talking like they sound like they deep, with that Gemini in the air right now under these universal energies, that's really what it's going to be. And I would also strongly suggest follow-ups on everything. Now, as far as agreements, this might be like if somebody say, "Oh, you owe me this," this might be a good time to say, "Okay, I can't give you that. I can give you this," because that's short. But that's what Gemini is. It tends to go short. Gemini is also real young children, and also like your siblings, like brothers and sisters. Could also be your brotherhood people around you as well. And it's also communications, publishing, teaching. So this all being within the 7th house of what I was talking about. Some people, if you did find yourself in court around now, you might get a shorter sentence, which is good. If you're a first-time offender, they might put you in PTI, which is pretrial intervention. For anything that has to do with the 7th house, it'll be a short journey, whether it's a literal journey or a journey of the mind or whatever. But right now, it wouldn't be a good time for talking long term, because if you do, it's just gonna be talk. It'll never manifest right now. Now, but it's a good social time. See how her Libra is in the 11th house? I know that says 10, but it's the 11th house. Her first house is ACEP, Sagittarius. So if you count it, that's her 11th house. Scorpio is her 12th house. All right, but it is a good time to go out and mingle, though. It's a good time to go out and have fun and stuff. See, because Libra is a social sign. So it is a great time to go out and socialize, small talk. But right now, it's still going to be small talk. Like, even if you met somebody, like right now, it's small talk. That's why I said, even if you met your twin flame right now, as much as you want to, like, I'm a deep, y'all can tell I'm deep. I want to go deep, but she may not want to go deep. She may just want to know, well, can we start talking? She may not even want to go deep. So you got to know that. Just keep it kind of general. Keep it, cool or whatever, positive. But don't go deep. But it is a great time for that Libra energy or that 7th house energy to get out and socialize. But it's going to be small talk. So what I'm trying to tell you, even if somebody talking deep and you go, wow, that dude deep, don't believe it, because it's small talk time. And I'm saying don't trust it till your natal chart and the universe tells you. Otherwise, what's going to happen? You're going to think, oh, he's deep, and you're going to be rudely awakened to the truth that there was, it might be something there that's not being shown to you right now. Dude might have a wife, might have a couple of girlfriends, like you don't know. So anybody talking deep right now is not the time for it. If that's just their personality, well, that's already proven. Like somebody like me, it's obviously I'm deep, so I ain't with the bullshit. All right. So now we're going to the 2nd house with Scorpio, where the moon is. Now it's going to be a real powerful full moon. Now, Scorpio is anything, okay? Scorpio is science. And this is the second house, so it is going to be about money. Now this is the part that's going to really mess with a lot of people. I know it's messing with me. See, you never want to see Scorpio in the second house, because your second house is supposed to be about your money. Scorpio rules the 8th house. That's about other people's money. So when you have other people's money in your house, which is your money, that could be somebody telling you, you owe me, you ain't paid me, you ain't paid me on time, and I'm getting sick of this bullshit. Because I mean, I read my horoscopes for this week pretty much. Terry Nasan went in. That was the worst horoscope I ever read from her. And Terry Nasan, she's in my top 3 of best astrologers in the world. So she got me over here shitting bricks. Like, come on, Terry, damn. Damn, Terry. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. So I'm just hoping it ain't as bad as she said it is. But I pray. Like I said, I was spiritual long before I became metaphysical. Now I'm spiritual metaphysical. But I was praying. Oh, Terry, no, I said, Terry, no. No, she been on point. Like, listen, that lady been unbelievably on point. I used her system, and about 13 years ago, I told somebody, I know you had a newborn baby, but when that baby get older, you going to get taken away. And they just looked at me like I was stupid. Sure enough, when that baby became a teenager, took that nigga away to the crazy house. So he's out, he's okay. But that was off of Terry Nasan. Terry Nasan, like I told you, I go to the best. That's why I be saying, I'm out here on YouTube. I don't understand it. Why would you spend all your money on somebody who really ain't helping you? Why, they just make you feel good? That's like going to a doctor and you're dying. And the doctor, he can tell good jokes and stuff, but he can't heal you. I wouldn't go to that doctor. Like, I don't have to like you to understand. Like, I get knowledge from anywhere. I don't care who you are. If you're talking real knowledge, I'm going to you. I deal with people that know what the heck they talking about. Don't even waste my time with that crazy stuff. Because what good is it if you don't want to be single and you dealing with somebody who makes you smile, but they're not helping you get in your relationship? And that's why you went to them. It don't make sense. So that's the biggest thing I'm saying. This is about other people's money and your money house. Now, the good thing about Scorpio, but it can also be about debt. I mean, it can also be about inheritance. It could also be about taxes. Yeah, like you might have taxes coming. You might get some money that way. Somebody might owe you and pay up. It's also about shared resources. So issues like we already talked about Libra. So again, and I'm going to say it again, if you got any type of credit cards, any type of loans or student loans or whatever, those are shared resources. If you owe anybody or somebody owe you, see, right now you can tell by these first 2 houses, that's what's going to be coming up. And that's what I mean. When you go to a regular card reader and stuff like that, they may not know the power of prayer. They may not even talk about prayer. They might give you some other advice, but prayer might have been exactly what you needed in that moment to help you get over this. Because like I said, that's the worst. I've never read, listen, I've been dealing with Terry Nasan for a long ass time. Probably, I don't know. I say close to 15 years. I've never read a horoscope that hard from her. I really was. I like, oh man. So this Scorpio full moon is about that. On all, and we just getting started in the second house. Because your second house is ruled by Taurus, but it's about your money, your possessions, and your value system, which how you value. Now, your first house, where Libra is also Aries is there. But hey yo, it's kind of crazy because that's your moon sign. Yeah. So you're gonna get hit. That's probably why the universe did it this way. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't gonna do your Aries. That's why I didn't do it in the first house. But they wanted me to wait till the second house because it's the moon. So you gonna get hit. So you got a lot of regression going. And like I don't know your personality or whatever, but I don't know. Like I try to advise people against, because it's just typical to want to roll up your arms or start arguing or be tough. And don't get me wrong, sometimes you gotta be. It all depends on who you're dealing with. But other times it's just good to keep your mouth shut. Because especially like when you're dealing with court or you dealing with somebody who kind of got you, you do owe. You know what I'm saying? Because you could get flipped. You could get flipped easy. Because you owe. Once you owe, it's like you caught out there. And so get mad or whatever, because that's what piss people off. I'm not saying this person did this. I'm only using this as an example. But you know how somebody come to you, oh man, they come with that sad story, oh man, and blase, and I will, I'll pay you on payday, and really, and so you help the person out, right? And then that time come when they supposed to pay it back, and they don't pay you back on that time, and then they don't contact you. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to kind of contact them or whatever. Or when you finally catch up with them or whatever, they being real. Now they got bass in their voice. So they went from sounding like this. Oh, I really, I'll pay you back. Sounding like that to, yo, man, I told you that. Oh, wait, where the bass? Where the bass coming from? You know what I'm saying? So now you want to hurt this person. Not because they owe you money, but that attitude. Because now you want to, who you think you talking to? I helped you out when nobody was with the. Now you want to do bodily harm. But that goes back to what I started this chart off with, all that helping people and all that nice guy shit. You got to watch that because it's going to backfire. That's what I said. Like I said, you do what you can do. Like I help people. I do what I can do. But I don't do everything that, I'm not going to, because people going to think, they're going to think, no, this ain't, look, I'm struggling like you. Y'all hear it in my voice how I'm talking. It ain't like Terry Nonson said, this is a bad week for you. And I said, oh, I don't care. I got money. I could care less. I was like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got shit. That shit. No, Terry. What, Terry? Holy shit. I was shitting bricks. So, the point I'm making is you can't be help everybody because you got to pay your own bills and stuff. So, you can do a little bit. Like I do charity. Like I get money for food, like children that need food, stuff like that. It's things you can do to help others because you should definitely help others. But you got to be careful. Cause like I said, a lot of people think things work differently. Cause sometimes it do work that way. Like sometimes you just give something away, and it seems like the moment you gave it away, you got blessed even better. That does happen. But there's other times when you got money and you give it away thinking it's gonna come back and it don't, and you be like saying to God, where the money at? And he be like, I already gave you, like I already gave you your money. You the one gave it away. So you got to be careful, like just be careful. That's all I can say on that one. All right. So Scorpio is definitely about power struggle. It's also about accusation. So that's why I say make sure you're organized. This goes back to all that legal stuff. Make sure you organize. Because I already told y'all, right now it's a time where when you call these people up, they want you to have your pay. I just dealt with somebody like that. Now, y'all got to understand, I'm going to try to tell you, I just dropped a video about, you see Spider-Man on it. Now, I try to tell you about this whole twin flame soulmate stuff. Now, you don't understand that when you contact me, similar shit be happening. Like my soulmate that live up the street, she got 2 twin dogs. They both look alike. Like you be seeing this all the time. So I'm trying to tell you, if one Pisces contacts me, another Pisces contacts me at the same time. If I got somebody that was born on August 7th, I'll have somebody contact me who was born on August 21st. Now, when you doing a whole lot of transactions, that shit be looking the same. You know what I be saying? I done learned to slow down. Because you don't know what it's like to do all that stuff and find out the date was wrong or some crazy stuff. So I'm very peculiar. I like, nah, slow down. Make sure your information right and shit. Like that, it go on and go on. But y'all still ain't hearing me though. I'm going to say it again. I might get 3 Barbaras in one day, the same name and shit. And plus, not only the same, like the same first name, but the last name all with H's. Barbara Henderson, Barbara Helmsley, Barbara Henriquez. Like what the? And they all come, but this is how the universe be working. Just like if you're listening to your natal chart, you see the numerology. Everything is organized. Everything that you're going through is not, you can think it's by chance, but everything, they told you that in the Matrix. Everything that goes on in your life, there's no accidents, no coincidence. Now, are there glitches? Probably. But I'm saying again, you got to wait to find that glitch and examine it. But the more you realize how structured this world is, the more you'll take your shit way more seriously. And that's why I said it'll help you with relationships. Because right now, this is how we are. We low level. We a little bit higher than animals. That's just a fact. That's why people don't stay together. Everybody cheating. Children going, where my daddy? Who the baby daddy? That's not acceptable. And you're supposed to be higher. You're supposed to be way higher and more intelligent. But we've been dumbed down by this matrix that they put us in. So now this is how you are. 1 minute you're saying, oh, I just met this person and I think this is the one. Yeah, you know, I've been running around. I think that I'm going to settle down. But as soon as that person get on your nerves, fuck that motherfucker. I'm going to sleep with his best friend. So you go right back to that low level frequency, that low level energy. But when you deal with stuff like this, like I'm showing you, and you really start doing this, like these people that still order from me and stuff, they get more than one order. That's because they learn it and they build it. And you ain't going to be the same person. Because you see the structure. You say, oh, I know what number 21 means. That's the world card. That's Saturn. That means you start knowing structure and shit. Even the people you start to deal with, they got to have some form of structure. Because you ain't just going to be dealing with anybody. Why deal with so-and-so every time they come? They either breaking something or asking for money, not paying you back. All that. You going to stop dealing with that. And you can start, like I said, you might be helping out a grown-ass man. You have to realize you're a grown-ass man. That's not my problem. This is all Scorpio stuff I'm talking about. Now, make sure you understand what I'm saying. Because Pluto, planet Pluto rules Scorpio. If you go to myastrologybook.com, he tells you that Pluto is the planet of the black people. Now, that's them. So that's not Gary. Gary didn't say it. myastrologybook.com said it. And that's a big astrology study website. Now, Sherry Shriner said, like love and Scorpio is the asteroid and the constellation of any people that got melanin or color in his skin. So that's the second person that said it. Now, if you go to Revelation chapter 9, you see the angel come down, open up the bottomless pit, and all that black smoke came up. And if you keep on reading, it says a Scorpio. They have a king over them, like the stinging of a scorpion. That's the Scorpio. That's the 8th house of the zodiac. Still talking about black smoke, black people. Now, if you think that black smoke ain't black people, go all the way to Genesis chapter 15. That promise God gave Abraham about 400 years. Once again, talking about dark smoke, black smoke, whatever. Metaphors for black people. If you go all the way back to 1 Kings chapter 18, when Elijah said it's about to rain, and a black cloud came, and the black cloud turned into like a black fist or a black hand. And he was on Mount Carmel, which is carbon melanin, if you know anything about Bobby Hemmett. So it's right there. But, you know, due to the way the world is, they want to keep lying and telling you that's not what that means. But they can't lie no more because the time of deception is up. And the reason why I got to tell people that, so you can feel good about yourself and stop all this bullshit and this deception and these lies. Because that's how you start to say, I deserve more. And you don't always go low. Like what she said. What did she say? Michelle Obama told me that when the enemy go low, you go high. So you don't have to go low just because some low shit happened. Just realize how to start thinking differently. That's, to me, that the moon is a transforming moon. Pluto and Scorpio are the most transformative planets there is. Now, also, you're going to be dealing with secrets. Every time a full moon come around, there's something that usually get revealed. Now, remember, this is what I say. Some people say 2 days before a full moon and 2 days after. But I say 2 weeks. That's just from experience. But it's still going to happen at some point. Like whenever you're doing this, try to learn how to walk in spirit. Don't be technical. Because a technical person going to be looking, oh, that ain't happened. That ain't happened. Sometimes you just got to give it time. And sometimes you got to make sure you understood what it meant. This is energy. You got to remember that. This is energy. It's not always going to be technical and physical. This is energy. Like me and my soulmate I work with, we got a great relationship. But it's all energy. But if you think she hasn't taught me or encouraged me, you're crazy. And that's one of the reasons why she's still at the job, even though she don't work there no more. She still comes in. And they let her work because she was such a great worker. So they let her come in and do all her stuff for whatever she's doing. She still walked through that department like she owned it. But me and her, cool. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's not like we ever had like a real conversation or nothing. And I know her for a year. Because I've been at that job now for almost a year. And then the one up the street, me and her was cool back then. And then she left. But when she came back, like she let me know it was some supernatural. That's all I can tell you. But supernatural, I knew she was back. All kind of strange shit happened. Strange shit to let me know she was back. And she looked just like that female that's in that video I just dropped with Spider-Man. That's why I dropped that video. So this is powerful. It's energy. And like I'm trying to tell you, you don't need to know every soulmate. Because what's going to happen, you would have sex with everybody. Because y'all going to have a powerful connection. And that's why a lot of people be sleeping around. Because they don't understand that soulmate connection. That soulmate energy. And that's how it is. You just feel this great thing about you. You're dreaming about this person, all that crazy. And they don't know how to deal with it. Like I said, I know stories of like people that were separated. Like a brother and a sister was separated. And when they first get back together and find out they have sex, you say, yo, that's disgusting. But you don't understand the power. I'm not saying it's not disgusting. All I'm saying is it's the intensity of the energy. It'll override you. That's why I understand it. And that's why I fall back. And I'm real careful with everything I do. And that's why, like I said, in 2014, when I first met this person, who I didn't even know who Twin Flames was, but I knew what it was about. And I was like, nah, that ain't never going to happen. We ain't never even talked. You know what I'm saying? We got to talk. But I could already tell. And that's the way she was. That's why I said she jumped in bed with that other guy. She's got all these kids by him. And now she don't want to be with him. Whatever's going on with that. That's what's going to happen. See, that's what I mean by low vibrations. Because you diving in, you ready, and then you doing all this, and I got all these kids, and now I'm lonely. Now I want to get with that guy that said was my twin flame. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to do that. You want to slow it down, make sure your head is on right, and then proceed. And that's what this full moon gonna be doing with all this energy, and it's gonna be power struggles because it's Scorpio, but it's also gonna be a lot of secrets. Now, not just something getting revealed, but secrets, maybe newer secrets hiding secrets and stuff. The full moon reveals it, but Scorpios and Pluto are about secrets and mysteries. So that's going to be true. And it's probably going to be like ancient mysteries coming out, more stuff about the ancient Egyptians and ancient Bible mysteries going to come out. All this is going to happen. Well, like I said, I'm giving it 2 weeks before the full moon and 2 weeks after. And the full moon is just in a couple of days. So when you realize there's also energy, that's how you start to open up to animal messages and all kind of stuff. That's when your intuition starts to kick in, your discernment starts to kick in. And this is really the level you're supposed to be at. Not the dumbed down level that the people who put you in the matrix in. Because at the end of the day, that's self-destructive. And it's not really good for you or people that you're responsible for or people that come after you. See, that's what I was talking about. This browser never fully, the page never really opened up. And it was holding me up for a long time. But that's okay. I just closed it. Now, just for people who, come on now, why is this taking so long? Because they really messing with me. Anything with the date of May 18th, Scorpio full moon, they're really messing with me because this video should have been approved. Alright. Yep. They just letting it sit there. I'm gonna put this on hold. I handle some business. What's cracking me up about these clowns? They don't even know how to read. Because first off, it's a twin flame video. It has nothing to do with me talking about outer space. They blocking all these videos, and I knew it. They've been blocking me though. They blocking all these videos that are talking about May 20th, 19, because it got something to do with outer space. So they're giving everybody, like people talking about it, they're giving heart. Their numbers are way lower than normal, and they're blocking your pictures out. So just give me a minute to handle this. See, one says it should be loaded in 10 minutes, and it should, because it was a short video. So if it should be loaded in 10 minutes, why the heck are you talking about 30 minutes and all that? Now they kicked it up to 30 again. But that's okay. This one's moving though. The other one ain't moving, it's just sitting there. So we'll see. Now it says 7 minutes again. Alright. So remember, power struggles. It could be power, family. And also remember, the moon always represents your mother. The moon is always connected to your mother. Now the moon is connected to the High Priestess tarot card. And she's the one that really brings the twin souls together, or the soulmates together. And they're always, because there was always a strange connection between my twin flame and my mother. Just a strange connection. Strange timing, strange synchronicity. So all this stuff is universal. And you got to get used to it. And again, this could be business, karma. Because like everybody knows, it's going to be a very karmic time, this Scorpio full moon. Supernatural stuff, metaphysical stuff, tarot cards, archangel cards, alchemy, chemistry, geometry, sacred maths, sacred science, sacred geometry. Could be highly sexual as well. It's kind of funny, I gotta say it. This is gonna be like the weird energy, like for places like strip clubs and stuff like that. But it's gonna be very weird. It might be some violence, but it's gonna be weird. But there's a lot of power in sex, but you just gotta be careful. That's all I can tell you. But it's gonna be a very any business like that, whether it's a strip club or anything, a brothel, anything with like sex and sex for money and all that is gonna be on. It's gonna honestly be on and shit. And you like if you was to go to one of those places at this time I'm talking about, especially on the night of the full moon or whatever, you gonna feel it. That's that party spirit, that lustful, off the hinges type of spirit. And again, it's all gonna be whatever happens here stays here type stuff. Now, sad to say though, Scorpio can be violent, so that could be going on too. Sexual, financial related crimes of violence may go on as well. advice. Yeah, in case I didn't say, I'm going to say it again because I got kind of distracted. You're going to need paperwork at this time because people are not going to have the patience. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So I get all these people that contact me, and it's just easy. It's just the way it is. That's all I can tell you. Like if you work at a fast food restaurant, you're going to get grease on the floor. I don't care. I don't care who the manager is. I don't care who the manager trainee is. I don't care what they talking about. If you work in a fast food restaurant, you best believe you're going to get grease on the floor. So the best thing I tell people, if I ask you, because I check everything, but here's the deal. When you got 15 Alicias, anything could happen. 15 who I can make up anything, and 15 Bobs, anything could happen. So that's why I tell people sometimes slow it down, or if I'm not sure, I'll be like, send it again. Because that way they know, you know. So that's how it is right now. So if you got like a financial problem, a bill problem, a contractor problem, an agreement problem, right now when you call that person to talk about it, you may get a person that really, do you have your information? You know, and you're like, no, but you probably could, no. You know, you might get one of them type of people. You know what I'm saying? Now, could they look it up by your last name or something? They might. But even then, you got to be careful because let's just say your last name is Woodward. You might say, I'm Woodward. I live in Springfield. But there might be 7 or 8 Woodwards in Springfield. You understand? So this is the time to have your shit together. Because people not really going to want to be looking it up and figuring it out for you and asking all these questions. It's just in the universe. I was here one time and somebody was banging on that door like they wanted to break it down. I said, who the heck banging on my door like that? So I went to the side window and looked out. It was this big dude. I'd never seen him before. And he just kept calling my last name. But he's banging on that door. So I knew that dude came to whip somebody's ass. But here's the deal. I wasn't hanging out no more. Wasn't messing with nobody's women. Wasn't doing nothing but working and coming home. So I like, this dude can't have no problem with me. You know what I'm saying? But I know how the devil work. Always something. I said, man, this dude probably got the wrong house. I don't even hang out. He was banging. And like, this dude, he was loped out. Like crazy. Banging on that door. I felt like the 3 little pigs and he was a big wolf. I wasn't coming out. Because listen, it's bad enough getting your ass kicked, but to get your ass kicked and you the wrong person, that's worse than getting your ass kicked by the right person and shit. So then he ran across the street and asked the dude. Now the dude should have said, I don't know. That's what I would have said. Like, I don't know who lived there. You know what I'm saying? Dude like, yeah. But it was still the last name. He never asked for the first name. So the dude like, yeah, that's it. So I said, that's why I never liked that dude. Always causing me problems and stuff. So that dude came back, was banging on that door again. Banging. I said, nah, I ain't opening up that door. That dude, no sir. Not on your last day. So he left. Never came back. Now the point I'm making is, so there's other people with my last name in this area. You know what I'm saying? So he probably was looking for one of them. Plus, like in Long Branch, those people with my last name, them was like back in the day, them was the thugs. You know, they was known for thug stuff. So who knows? He could have been looking for one of them. But he never came back, so that's how I know he had the wrong house. So I would have been a fool to open that door, because the way he was banging, he was swinging. Like, as soon as I would open up that door, I would have been knocked out. And honestly, I'm a real dude. I don't talk that crazy talk. Oh, I would have did this. I would have dunked it out. I would have came back and did a jab. I would have bobbed and weaved. I would have did shit. I would have said, boom. He would have hit me. I would have, oh, knocked out and shit. He probably would have dragged me out the house and shit. Started stomping on me and shit. That dude was crazy. Like, I don't mind a fight if it's a real fight for a reason. I ain't fighting for no stupid reason. You ain't gonna just knock on my door and hit me because I look like somebody or you heard. Or, I don't do those type of fights. There got to be a reason. Why are we fighting? So the point being made is have your information right so that, okay, I'm so and so. This is my number. Boom, boom, boom. But if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. But I'm just saying, if you got it, don't be lazy, because right now you're at a time where people are short because of Gemini. Anything with contracts, any of that business shit, right now people are short. And right now you're also at a time that people want it. They want it now. So that's what Terry Nonstein was warning me about. Now I'm showing y'all what she's talking about. So you got to be ready for whatever. Now, a lot of people don't talk about that, but Scorpio can be about partying and shit. And this full moon, I believe, as you see, is on Saturday. So I think it'll be a great night for that dark stuff. You know, partying and just letting go and getting loose and whatever. It's a great time for that. It's gonna be a great night for that. But we still getting started. But like I said, I don't mean to bust nobody's bubble, but being an adult, you gotta realize for every action there's a reaction. All right. So now, again, she should have the free report, because you still should study your 8th house even more. Oh yeah, and we can go over to your chart on your side, but see, you got that Aries moon, so it's gonna be real aggressive. So you got to be real. I'm just saying you got to be real careful, because that's what I mean about Aries just dives in, but you got to be real careful, because that's how people get social diseases and all kind of sexual diseases and STDs and stuff or whatever. Dive in or whatever, and then find out dude got a girlfriend or something, a wife or some shit. Like you got to think about shit like that. That's why, like I say, ain't no diving in. Not me. Like I said, I done did all that shit when I was younger. I'm not with it. To me, that's silly shit now. But you got to be real careful diving in, and don't make no agreements, and watch what you signing. All that shit. Watch what you signing. Don't make no agreements. Don't dive in and shit. So that's what we going first. We're not even gonna go to your Scorpio first. We're gonna go to your And like I said, even right now, if you go to a search engine, all you gotta type in is the 8th house of the zodiac, like the 8th house of the zodiac or the 8th house of astrology, because you need to know everything that's in there, because any of those things could happen. But this is just going on in your money zone. So we're gonna have to check your Aries from your 1st house. We're gonna check your Taurus. And we're going to check your Scorpio. And like I said, it's definitely going to affect you, because your 2nd house is Capricorn, which is really like your career sector and your reputation. So that will be part of this. And remember that don't do it. Like I said, be careful, because whatever go down could affect your reputation. Because Capricorn's in your 2nd house, and this is about the 2nd house full moon in Scorpio. Yeah, see, your Aries is in your 5th house, so I'm gonna tell you again, so be careful, because that's why I said it definitely gonna be one of those nights. Like I said, this is a night where you might, like, I live in New Jersey, so for us, the big thing is Atlantic City. The casinos, again, not that we do a lot of gambling, but the gamble, like, I ain't been there never, but I'm saying when we used to go, like say 10 years ago or something. But that would be a big night. And see, it's one of them nights, because I remember one time I was in AC, and when I got there, because when I used to drink, as soon as I walked in, I always ordered 2 drinks, 2 beers. Because I ain't like waiting. And I figure if I buy one, I'm going to have to keep it. Because you're going to be a lot of people, so you got to wait. So I would just buy 2. Now, in Atlantic City, they won't do that. You ain't going to, you probably have, you could probably do it at the bar. But them females walking around, they're not going to serve you 2 drinks. And they can be real pushy. But they real pushy because, you know, people be getting drunk and be real pushy towards them, so they real pushy. So when I walked in, I walked right up to one of the females that carried this stuff. I was like, yo, I want to make a little bit. And she was like, she didn't want to, you know, she was busy or whatever. She didn't really want to. So I was like, I want two beers. I don't know if I said Michelob. I forget. I don't know. But anyway, she was like, no, you can't get two. You can only get one. So I was pissed off and shit. So I think I just looked at her and I just walked away and shit. It was funny because I looked at her and she looked at me because she's like, no, you can't get two beers. You can only get one. So I was like, fuck her. And I walked, that was an old me. I walked away and then I just went to the bar and shit. So I started ordering drinks. And then my dudes they was gambling. I was just drinking. So then as I got my drink on, I was better because that's how, like, when you drink a lot, that's how you are. Because I could tell. I used to sit at the bar. I could tell you who had drinking problems and shit. And they come in the bar and they be so angry. They be so uptight when they get in that bar because they want to drink and they don't want to wait. They don't want to wait in line. And I was the same way. And then after a drink or two, then they calm down and shit. And so then I saw her later. After I was drinking, I saw her later, and then we just looked at each other, and then we started laughing. Because she was laughing at me because she knew I had a bad attitude, and I was laughing at her and shit. We thought the shit was funny, though. And then I was just hanging out. I was just standing there, and this female walked by. I was like, yo, you from Monmouth County? She was like, yeah, I'm from Red Bank. I said, yeah. I told her where I was from. I said, yeah. So I started hanging out with her, and she was like, it's my birthday. I said, oh, happy birthday. She said, I got this credit. I got free drinks. I said, oh, shit. So that whole night, I was just chilling with her drinking and shit the whole fucking night. So, what I'm trying to tell y'all is that's this type of Scorpio moon. See, especially with her Aries in the 5th house. See, it's off the hook. And that's when anything could happen. You know what I'm saying? That's when you wake up. Because I know one of them dudes I used to hang out with, that's when I was hanging out. I remember this in the early 2000s. I remember we went to the strip club that night and everything. And when I woke up the next day, I woke up like this. I said, woo! Shit. I was still fucked up. And then I remember one time I went to church. I actually went to like church. I forget what I did and shit. But I was like, I was out of it and shit. But I was all happy and shit. So that's the type of night this is. But that's the type of night you get yourself in trouble and shit. So be careful with the Aries. And it's all connected to Libra. Because of Aries, so it's all, you know, whatever. People having fun, you figure ain't nobody gonna find out, ain't nobody gonna know, whatever gonna happen. But then you still got that Libra type is gonna make some type of connection or agreement. And I keep telling you all about energy, because sometimes even the words you say, you kind of bind yourself to a connection just by the words you say. You got to be real careful because that's what's going on here. And see, we could get even creepier if y'all want to get creepy, because this is the 8th house. This is all about ghosts and spirits and the shit that made Africa and all that shit is in the 8th house. That's why I keep trying to tell you Pluto and Scorpio. That's the planet in the constellation of black people. So you got to be real careful what's coming out your mouth. All that stuff is a possibility. And aggressive Aries moon in the 5th house of pleasure and fun. It's kind of dangerous with this. But not saying you can't go and have a good time, but you just got to be careful. Because, you're being warned. Because that's like somebody going out and, think you're going to have a drink or two or whatever. Then that drink or two go to 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. And who the fuck know? Then when your friends find you, you lay down in the woods somewhere with your clothes off or some shit. Then you be like the talking head. How did I get here? And shit. Oh. Alright. So there you go with that one. And Capricorn is warning you in your 2nd house because it could be new moon. I mean, it could be your reputation. And plus, in your 2nd house, you got Neptune, which is known for fantasies and false thinking, where you think you found Mr. Right, or you think this is a good situation, but it's not. And also, Neptune can deal with over drinking or drugs or escapism. So all this is a bad ingredients for a bad decision. And then you got Uranus, like I told you about that 23 degrees AC. that shit coming out of nowhere. And even that's at 12 degrees, which again is somebody fantasizing, thinking, oh, this is gonna work, this is right for me, but it's not. And then your Neptune is 15 degrees, which is the devil card, which means you bind yourself. Remember I just said watch your mouth and watch your words and your agreement, because you bind yourself to some shit that ain't good for you. And then when you dealing with Saturn, when you dealing with Capricorn, that's karma. So that'll come back on you. And see, the Scorpio moon is all about karma. So this is something you have to avoid. It might be even something that you've already done from your past of this life or your past of a previous life. This is why I say you got to really take this shit seriously. And this is what people don't do on YouTube. All they want to turn everything into a love story, or I want to be a singer and all that. But you need to find out why you hear, what you got connected to you and stuff like that. It's not scary. Like, I want to know, because you have better control over stuff. That's why this whole stuff is written, so that you would have control over your life. But if you're scared to look at it, or you don't like my tone, that's just silly. That's like somebody going out of their way. Like, I could be ripping people off. I'm losing money. You just heard me talking about, damn. You know what I'm saying? I'm losing. I could have came out here like everybody else. I was making money. But I was like, man, these people don't really want to learn it. They just talking some bubblegum astrology stuff. So that's stupid to play somebody out that's got your best interest at heart. That's just stupid. And that's bad karma too. Alright. Now let me look at this, see if my video loaded. Okay, now, alright. They did load. Give me one moment. I'm just going to... I got to delete one of them. Alright, let me see. No, they already did it. It looks like they did it already. Alright. So everything looks okay. I don't know why are they doing this. Oh yeah, maybe that's why. Let me do this first. Alright. So now we're going to keep going. Alright, now your Taurus is in your 6th house. That deals with home and healing, health. And Scorpio can deal with health too. Now Scorpio's health, it could be general health, but also Scorpio's health can be like alternative health and stuff like that, like people that use herbs or just, you know, different type of healing and, you know, all kind of like alternative healing and stuff. Some people use like sound or electricity or whatever. So this is the home, health, healing, daily activities, daily duties, small children, small animals, co-workers, subordinates. But now, if you notice, now Taurus on the chart to the left is in a relationship sector. And it's the sun sign Taurus. And it's the vertex cross. And it's the return. Scorpio, number 4. All right. So now, so for the Taurus energy, ironically, it's looking pretty good. And they put it in the 7th house, not the 8th. So that was good that Taurus isn't in the 8th house. Because that would have been a person's money going to other people's money. But they put Taurus in the 7th house. But it looks kind of good. Now the sun is at 27 degrees. Well, that's the diplomat. That's the person who and they got Mercury there too. So Mercury at 24 degrees is telling you make sure you just man up or woman up. Like if somebody's looking for you, just make sure you have a plan. Even if you say I can't give you this, I'll give you that. I'm able to give you that. It'd be better for you. But Taurus looks like not only on this particular day will Taurus have a pretty good day, but he might even love might even work in his behalf. And like I said, it's all about energy, because sometimes you might just go out by yourself and you might have a great experience or meet somebody, like I just told y'all. But see, shit like that be happening to me all the time. That's why I never really worry about shit, because I'm a Leo. Like, I could just go out. If y'all know how many times I could just go out and just meet somebody. Like, and it's not that I want it that way, but at the same time, I see life like totally different. I've had too much drama on this planet. Like, I'm not trying to conduct no type of BS. You know what I'm saying? I just do me, try to help out where I can, then I keep it moving. All right. So yeah, so for Taurus in the 7th house, it's actually looking pretty good. We looked that number up 2424 before, so I'm gonna look it up real quick, because Taurus. Let me look at that again. That Taurus energy is at 2424. All right, we're looking for the number 2424. Telling you to be patient, and that's why Taurus is there, because Taurus is the most patient zodiac sign. Wait for clear and obvious signs that will guide you in the right direction. Don't be too hasty. Trust your intuition. Only continue on your current path if that path feels totally right to you on all levels. If not, change paths now. And they made sure to change paths now. Now, why is that important? Because we just did her moon in Aries. And I'm telling you, that to me, that looks like a train wreck. Diving into your own demise. And see, your Taurus is in your 6th house of health and healing. So in other words, don't do the Aries thing and dive into pleasure or whatever, any type of see, pleasure is escapism. That's why I say I've learned that you gotta really say your words and make sure people know what you're talking about. But if you go, they'll say, "Oh, that's not pleasure." Me and my friends was just going hiking. It wasn't pleasure. Like they want to argue, like, and that's just human nature. Like it's like almost like a dog start growling at you and want to bite you and shit. It's not pleasure. I just going hiking, and then on hiking you sleeping with your girlfriend's best friend or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like nigga, who you think you talking to? Ain't nobody do it like me, nigga. I was out there, brother. I was out there. You ain't gonna, I know. Like we said, we just gonna watch television. Now she down on her knees and shit. Like I done did it. So you can't lie to me. Like I'm not saying everybody gonna do that, but you can't lie to me. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't. Like if it look like a snake, act like a snake, move like a snake, the tongue is slithering like a snake, it's still a snake. Whether it's a human dressed like a snake, it's still, for that moment in time, it's a snake. It is what it is. And I'm sorry people don't want to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to deal with it. Like me, whatever I do, I did it. Like when you hear me talk, I did. That was me. I did that. I don't go, oh, we were just talking and I didn't know. Like, dude, you're in her house. You know she got a man. You're in her house. She let you in. Now you're in the back room sitting on the bed. What y'all think gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? It's people that have sex that don't even like each other. They just having sex. How many people have done that and got up and said, this don't mean nothing. I don't care about you. They'd be like, then why do we just do what we did? So this is the life we live. So when you do this, they're warning you. It's kind of like when Pharaoh. I was just thinking about this last night. Now, one of God's servants was in Egypt. And he was afraid of the Egyptians. So he told his beautiful wife, say you my sister. Because if you say you're my wife, they're going to kill me and take you. So she did that. That's my brother. So Pharaoh said, well, shoot. If that's her brother and she's single, I'm going to hit that. I'm going to take her for mine. So then because this was a friend of God, God showed up in Pharaoh's dream and said, yo, that woman you took is married. And Pharaoh was trying to say, wait a minute, I didn't know. Because back then they cared about stuff like that, unlike now. Pharaoh's like, I don't know. Like Pharaoh's like, hold up. I don't want no problems with God. Like, I didn't know. And the whole time, God never said, I know you didn't know. God just kept saying, you better not touch her. You better return her back to her husband. And you better not touch her. And you better not do nothing to him either for lying to you. So, in other words, God was like, I'm not with the BS. All I know is that woman's married. These are people of prophecy. And you better get her back to her husband ASAP. Otherwise, Egypt gonna have some problems that y'all ain't ready for. So, when we give these readings, all we're doing is giving possibilities. It's not for crosstalk. It's not to go back and forth. It's not philosophy. It's just possibilities that are seen on the chart to wake people up that are interested in waking up. So they're telling you don't hang out with people that don't resonate with your life purpose and your soul mission. And they say if you've been thinking about starting your own spiritual business, that this would be a good time to do it. I see Scorpio moon, that's what that's all about. All that psychic stuff, helping people heal through however you do it, however a person does it. So all right. And your Taurus is in the healing sector. The 6th house. All about healing, health, and service. And that's what these psychics do out here on YouTube. Card readers, all of them, even people like me. That's all we do is help, heal, and service. All right, now you're Scorpio. See how your Scorpio's in your 12th house? And that's why I'm telling you, it's going to be a time of ending for you. Now, what's going to be ending, and it'll go on. We already covered mostly everything's in the 8th house, but like I said, make sure you should have your free report that tells you everything that's in your 8th house, or could look it up online, but let me see. I can shoot her an email. But all you got to do is go to a search engine anyway. Just go to the 8th house of astrology, the 8th house of the zodiac, either one, and it'll pop up everything. And make sure it's a lot of stuff, because some people, if it's not a lot of stuff, then you know that's the wrong, because the 8th house got a lot of stuff in it. All right, give me a moment. So if you notice any supernatural stuff around here, that's what the 8th house is about, Scorpio full moon. But also stuff like reincarnation, people that are dead, all that stuff is all in the 8th house. And again, the 8th house of the zodiac is ruled by Scorpio, and Scorpio is ruled by planet Pluto. So your 8th house is gonna be about 12. So like I said, shit is gonna come out one way or another. So I gotta brace you for that. But you see, your 8th house is about secrets, hiding it, and all that. But the 12th house is about bringing it out, reckoning, or getting karma for it. And with the Scorpio full moon, so some shit will be coming out. And you see your 21 degrees. See, that's the world card. That's Saturn. See, that's karmic, but it's also endings. And your 10 degrees. What's number 10 tarot card? Oh yeah, that's Jupiter. That's the world card. So that's Jupiter energy. But you got your palace is right at 29 degrees. And like I told you, that's like the soulmate. The more mature soulmate. And so yeah, so you got, and you can see it's definitely coming out. So this is going to be very powerful for you, very karmic. But it might be very transforming. So yeah, we got to look at 29 degrees up. And I just want to verify. Because sometimes when you take in so much information, you just got to make sure you verify. Yep, it's the Wheel of Fortune card. Jupiter energy, number 10. All right. Let me see something. So Crystal B Astrology is calling it Magic 29. All right. Just gotta give me a moment because I'm starting to see a lot of websites that appear to be newer ones. All right. All right. Excuse me, like I said, this is new. I just want to look it over. 29-degree mark is a special marker of soul evolution, and that's why yours is right there with Palace in your 12th house, because that's your soulmate, just like I told y'all. Because it was one person that said, "Oh, Palace isn't a twin soul or soulmate asteroid." I said, "Yes, it is." So this is a karmic relationship. This is past life relationship, and you will have some type of connection with the person if you don't already have it around his full moon, either 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after, any of that time frame. So she said a person with a 29 is likely bringing over lots of things from a past lifetime, karmic baggage to speak. All right. The current lifetime is a stepping stone into a bigger part of their soul's journey evolution. It's pretty intense and special from a broad point of view. All right. She said you're going to go to the 29th mark as a special marker. It's a marker, like I said, of a peak in your soul evolution. So she said, look at it 29 as a phase about to end so that a new one can start. All right. She said that the 29th degree always reveals a turning point in emotion. These turning points are not always event driven. They can be emotional as well as psychological. And I'm going to add spiritual as well. So she said she starts to talk about the solar return, which she said people call it their birthday. She said planet Pluto doesn't go into the 29th degree until every 20 years. Neptune 14 years, Uranus 7 years. And then everybody else is like, 6 years or less. No, but see, like the way I see it, it's on your natal chart. Like what she's trying to say is, well, almost every whatever goes through it. But I'm saying no, but when it's on your natal chart, it's put there for a reason. Don't ever sleep on a 29 on your natal chart. That's like a knockout punch coming and you're not ready for it. See, when that guy banged on my door, I was ready. I hit up, wouldn't come to that door. But as soon as I would open that door, it would have been boom! I would have been getting knocked out for something that didn't have nothing to do with me. You gotta be ready for it. So she said 29 means some type of turning point. So this transition can change your entire awareness or perception. It can change who you are or what you believe or what you care about. So like I said, it could be like it's a woman loves a man and he can't do no wrong and she loves him and blah 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 blah. But then that 29 point hit and it's over. It's like, man, she sees what what he is, or now she don't love him, don't really want to talk about him, don't want to talk to him or about him, don't really care about him more. That I believe all men are dogs, and same way you might have been hurt or whatever. And that 29 hits, and you meet somebody who just seems totally different than what you perceive a person to be, and now you're starting to believe in love again. She said 29 comes with radical moves. So she said, if you want to know when it's about to happen, look at that magic 29 on your natal chart. And that was crystalbastrology.com. Now, we're not done yet, of course. But like I said, don't overdo it, though. Do it on your natal chart. Because what she's trying to say is, well, you got 29s there all the time, yeah. Don't. It doesn't matter if you got 29s all the time. You're looking at the 29 degree on your natal chart. That was put there by the creator. That was put there for a reason. Just because it just happens to be going on. If it's not on your natal chart, otherwise you're going to be over worried, over preparing. And again, you got to remember, you got power. You can speak stuff into reality. Now out here on YouTube, you can type in 25 points about the 29th degree. And that'll give you a lot of information. It looks like it says Zera Shu Astrology. Zera the Astrology. You should see it. It should come up in your search engine. So again, the karmic degree is your anaretic degree, is your last degree, because 29 goes to really 0. It doesn't go to 30 degree. And 0 means you're in the next house. So that the 29th degree has a karmic significance. So 29 degrees Scorpio. There might be a financial responsibility you have to consider, which I've been talking about. And they're implying somebody may have died or will die that leaves you some type of financial situation. And I already explained that in the beginning. Might be a good beneficial thing. It might not be. It could also be like family fighting over inheritance money or something like that. It could have something to do with taxes or debt. It, it, um, it could also mean possibly a death of someone. It will be transforming, like it will be very transformative. All right, Palace in the 12th house. You have the ability to understand and communicate spiritual teachings. Your creative ideas may benefit humanity. And see, that might be one of the reasons why God will shake you up a little bit so that you'll get away from the typical hiding stuff, and because that's what Scorpio energy does. But he's going to try to shake you up so you start to let others in who you are and what's going on inside of you. So you may be required to make personal sacrifices so that your wisdom is used for the good of the whole. So in other words, you might that Pluto can shake things up. It's great transformation, but it's related to love as well. But something may have to happen that's going to be a sacrifice for you, but that's going to force you to be more outwardly with who you are, because you can benefit others. So you have gifts and traits that if you're not really doing nothing about them, you're holding them in or whatever. So the universe has got to shake you up to make those gifts come out. So your intelligence is linked to the collective consciousness with Palace in the 12th. All right. You might attract friends that are clever at solving problems. Well, no, that's the 11th house. Let's go back to the 12th. They say you can actually master spiritual teachings. So you have karma associated with using your mind. See, you have to become like a teacher. I don't know if you are or not, but see, if you don't, see, you're gonna have bad karma. See, you have to, like, they're not giving you a choice. Like, the universe is saying you have to get to the point where you're actually teaching people and stuff like that to help them. And remember, I'm gonna say it again. Anything out here on YouTube, you see card readers, you see people like me, whoever, they're all teachers, whether they call themselves teachers or not. So by the way you use your mind, your intelligence, or your belief system, you have karma associated with that. So if you don't do it the way you're supposed to, like in the 12th house, if you serve, you'll be blessed by the universe. But if you fail, like if you hold all your gifts in, then they say you may experience mind problems, retardation, mental breakdown. All right. So the 12th house could deal with things you're hiding, subconscious, things that need to come out. Like if you need to get healing, this would be the time to start working on it. Don't hold back any of your problem solving skills because that's what Palace is all about, and seeing patterns. See, Palace is real good at seeing patterns. Palace also helps like the underprivileged or the minorities and stuff like that. So you have an increased ability to analyze and handle other people's restrictions. But that's how you can help them get free. So this would be a good therapist, a good social worker. So that was interesting. Now give me a moment because I have to save this. Yeah, so something will be happening. That's your 29th anaretic degree to push you closer. So Palace on your chart is your soulmate or your twin soul. Your twin flame is your twin soul. Same person. But it's also Palace in your 29th degree is going to push you to get you to the point where you really are becoming that teacher and helping others. Give me a moment. All right. All right. Let's see what else. So that'll be the Scorpio moon for you. And again, Scorpio moon is at 27 degrees. So is the sun, 27 degrees. See, that's a great diplomat. So this is moving you to talk more and be more. And I was looking and see your medium Coeli. I love how the universe works. Your medium Coeli is at 27 degrees. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know your personality. I don't know. But what the universe is saying is you got so much inside of you that can help other people, but it's going to bless you at the same time. But you got to bring it out now. And your soulmate, your twin soul, is directly related to that. Yep. See, that's your career. Your medium Coeli, your MC, your medium Coeli is part of your true north node. And also, that's your life purpose, why you're here. And also, it's in your 10th house, which is your career. So they're telling you that's exactly what you should be doing. So that's like during a full moon, you often get a revelation, and that's your revelation. Now, having said that, now let's go. Let's say I'm pretty sure your true north node is going to be in Scorpio, but let's see. I mean, in Sagittarius, but let's see. Gotta really follow it, but they got everything backs then. All right, your true north node is in Capricorn, but it takes you back to your 10th house. It's still your career. The only reason why I said Sagittarius because that's the master teacher, but it's still career. And I would still be right because look what's in your 10th house, Jupiter. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. See, they're telling you, like I said, I don't know what your profession is. I don't know none of that. But the bottom line is your calling is to be this teacher that I just got finished saying with that 29 degrees palace. Because that's where your money is, which is Jupiter. But Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So I still was right. That's why I say you got to understand energy. But they're telling you that the money would be, like I said, most of the time all you got to do is spend some time on YouTube. These people are getting paid. Most of these people working right for their home. And their bills is paid. But that's their calling. And your true north node is 9 degrees, which is Virgo energy. That's the hermit. And the hermit is a person who has his own enlightenment. So he doesn't let nobody else tell him what to believe or what to think. Because a hermit has been trained through life and experience, and they have their own enlightenment. So that's, like I said, Virgo energy. And that's where your 10th house is, Virgo. 10th house in Virgo. And remember, that's the service. And I just said that. That's the home. I just got finished saying these people work from home. But the money is looking good. Even your Jupiter is 14 degrees. And it's at 15 minutes. But that 15 will take you back to your Capricorn. But Capricorn rules the 10th house. So really, your second house and your 10th house is pretty much the same thing. And it's definitely money, but especially if you're in your purpose. And tarot card 14 again is Sagittarius, just like I said. It's temperance, but the energy is Sagittarius. And the reason why your true north node is in Capricorn, because that's your career. That's still the 10th house. So the encouragement of this reading is to make sure you're in line with your true life purpose. Make it your career. You'll be helping other people. You'll also be being blessed. Now your Pluto is 21 degrees, but that's Saturn. But Saturn rules Capricorn. So it still takes you back to your career. Now, your Mercury retrograde is in your Capricorn. You have to be careful because you might not be understood. So you might like to really learn how to communicate. Because you might have to, write it. But you have to find a way to communicate so that people understand you. Because they probably won't understand you. But the reason being probably because you got that Sagittarius. Which means you are over their head. Like you're just more intelligent. So like I said, sometimes you got to dumb it down. It is what it is. But ironically, both, you got number 8. So it's almost like, I'm going to keep it 100. Whether you believe it or not. But it's almost like they knew this shit was coming. When I say they, the people that put all this together with all this numerology, it's almost like they knew this revelation was going to come to you under a Scorpio moon. Because they put all them 8s there. That's the 8th house. Alright, that was the alarm because I just got to check the mail, otherwise I forget. But it didn't get here yet, okay? But I do want to check something else out. Because that person is singing, I don't think that's Bruce Springsteen. It sounded like a female. Let me just see. I'm going to see who was singing that song when the alarm went off. Yeah, on one of my more recent videos, I told y'all how when I was young, when I was a teenager, and I'm not going to go all into it because I already said it in the video, but it's one of my more recent videos. And I met this guy only by chance. But this is all what I'm trying to tell y'all. This is all about past life. Past life, and you still be around the same people you was with in the previous life. But anyway, I met this guy who I shouldn't have really met, had nothing in common or whatever. But I was a bass player. We had a band, but we had lost the guitar player. It was a white dude. He was the only white guy in the band. So just by chance, I met this other dude, Used to be in the neighborhood, but he wasn't a friend of mine. So when he heard me, my song, because I always wrote my own music. So when he heard me, he said, "You're new wave," and I said, "What's new wave?" And I never even knew what new wave was. But when I began to hear it, like, yeah, I was a natural new wave. But there was always an eeriness with new wave, because new wave music came out of punk rock, and that was really in Britain, and crazy Sid Vicious and Johnny Rotten and stuff like that. And then but it was too rugged. It was too real, too rugged for radio. So they made a new wave. But what y'all gotta understand, I knew that before I knew that shit I just told you. Like, I was new wave. Like what he said, I was new wave in every sense. Don't get me wrong. My whole family, like my father, we always knew music. I know all music, but at that age, I was writing primarily like new wave shit. But still, to meet him, because he was a black dude too, so to meet him and he was in the rock, because I really didn't know. I was just writing music. I didn't know nothing about new wave or rock or none of that stuff back then. So now, why am I telling you all this? Well, I wanted to know who was singing that song when the alarm went off, because everything happens for a reason. So I thought it was Pat Benatar, but then something was like, nah, it's not Pat Benatar. So I wanted to know who it was. So when I went to YouTube to look, it was good old Bruce Springsteen, who's right here in Monmouth County, New Jersey. That's Asbury Park, New Jersey, Stone Pony. Bruce Springsteen is from Freehold, New Jersey. Now, he's one of the most famous people in rock and roll music. Like argumentatively, when you talk about like the greatest rock musicians of all time, he might make it in the top 10. If he don't make it in the top 10, he's definitely going to make it in the top 20. He's walked the same streets I've walked, same places I've been. But what's unique about it is the person that this radio station just played, I'm pretty sure that's the Boss 107.1 FM. And that radio station is right in my neighborhood. I called there one day for Mike Marino. He's a comedian from Jersey. I met Mike on a big birthday, but it was years ago. And I've stayed friends with Mike Marino. Unbelievable. But I mean, we're not buddies, But somebody came in the store a few months ago. Not even like a month and a half ago. And I was like, "Do you know Mike Marino?" And he looked at me like, "Yeah, why are you asking me that?" And I'm like, "You look just like Mike Marino and shit." So it's kind of funny. So me and him said a couple of things, and as he was leaving, he said, "There's a guy funnier than Mike." And I looked at him, I said, "Ain't nobody funnier than Mike." And he just looked at me laughing and shit. So he looked at me like, this guy must really know Mike the way he's talking. So it's a Jersey thing. So anyway, so Mike had me calling radio stations because he's out in LA now, and when he came back to Jersey, things are different. Like, they really don't care about you no more. Like before, years ago, oh yeah, come on a radio station, sure. But now they really don't give a fuck. So he had us calling him, trying to get him on. So I remember calling Boss 107.1, and the guy answered and shit, and then we were talking or whatever, and I was like, yeah, I'm right around the corner and shit. So me and him started laughing and shit, like, damn, this guy's right around the corner. So anyway, why am I telling y'all this? So now I'm trying to find out who's singing this song. I don't know who wrote it. It's been a long time, and I'm not into music like that no more. So I know it's a Bruce Springsteen song because I see him singing it on YouTube. But I'm like, but that's not who's singing that song. Who's the female? So I look down. It's good old Patti Smith. Now, she's the one who said Jesus Christ ain't my savior and stuff like that. But she's another highly spiritual person in her own way. It's just a different spirituality. Whenever you deal with spirituality, you're going to deal with two polarities, the light and the darkness. Now, the way you're taught is light good, dark bad. But even as melanated people, we know that not to be necessarily true. But the more you learn, the more you learn. Now, there's a song that I used to love as a kid that sometimes you can still hear it on the radio because this is how metaphysical it is. And it's called All the People That Died. All the people that died. And I've seen Patti Smith sing that, but almost all the famous rock and rollers know that song and sing it. Now, when I heard that song, nobody died in my family. I was too young. But for some reason, I always resonated with that song. All the people that died. All the people. So he's singing about all his friends that are dead and died and how they died and shit. And he said, well, why would somebody want to sing a morbid song like that? And blah, blah, blah. But what I'm trying to tell you is all of that stuff is the 8th house. All of that stuff is a zodiac. Because for every life there's a death. For every death there's a life. It goes on and goes on and goes on. And this is what we're talking about now, the Scorpio moon. And you got to ask yourself, if that's the New Jersey radio station, why the freak are they singing Patti Smith? Why don't they just sing Bruce Springsteen? So this is his home, this is his town, this is his county. Right? But that's how impactful Patti Smith was to people. She's like the rebel. She's like the evil. She's the evil Pat Benatar. Finally, one time I was sitting in a bar in Eatontown, New Jersey. And it was kind of funny. Because it was a female in there that worked there. Like a waitress with black hair or whatever. So right before I left the bar, I looked at her. I was like, I said, do you know Pat Benatar? She's like, yeah. And like, do you listen to Pat Benatar? She's like, yeah. So me and her started talking. And it got a little touchy-feely. And I almost went home with her. But I stopped myself. Because I was changing. Alright, but that's what the Scorpio moon's all about. That's why I told you that. Sorry if it didn't resonate with you, but hey, I go with intuition. Everything happens for a reason. And if you know how many emails I get back to say, hey, you know, this and that and this and that. Alright, give me 1 second. Alright, I gotta respond to this email. Alright. All right, now look, even where the Sagittarius is at on the map, the transit chart to the left, you still see Capricorn number 9 degrees. Again, and you see Jupiter. So even though these are two different charts, you can see how they're still in sync with the universe. That's why I said, the more you study this stuff and do it the right way, you can't help but improve. Because what's going on? All these people on YouTube, they don't want to mess with the natal chart. They don't want to do it the correct way, or they just don't want to do it the correct way. They keep on looking for shortcuts and all this silly stuff for whatever reason. Like they want everything to make them feel a certain way. And if it doesn't make them feel a certain way, then they're going to do it. They act like little spoiled kids. And that's why they're in separation. All this is planned out. The more you do it the correct way, the closer you're going to get. That's why I said my twin connection is going to be great. So right now the universe is bringing all this Jupiter, Sagittarius, motherly teacher. Number 9 is a hermit he's a teacher, but he's learned how to teach from his own enlightenment. So he doesn't allow all that fake stuff going on like me. I do the same thing. I'm not with that silly stuff. I'm going to call it what it is. And the faster you people grow up and deal with it, the faster your life will get better. Otherwise, you're going to keep doing what everybody else is doing. Searching, searching, searching. And you're making your decisions based on like a little child would make it. See, an adult says, hey, let me get the best in here so it'll get done. The immature person, I want to do that, I want to do it that way. And they're going to always have to keep going back, keep going back, keep going back. Instead of just doing it right the first time. And that's why you got hundreds of thousands of twin flame videos out here. I guarantee at least today, at least 100 more will drop on YouTube. 50 to 100 more on YouTube. Why? If something really works, why do you have to keep going back to it? Because they're working off emotions, hoping, but they don't want to work off intellect and emotions, coming up with a real plan where it really works. All right. So again, those are the main things on your chart for right now. We cover relationship, finance, your calling, what you should be doing right now. We gave you all warnings. So again, if you find, like I said, because a Sagittarius might be too high to communicate to people. When I meant to say, your Mars is at 11 degrees, even that's a master teacher number. And even if you look on this chart, look where Mars is in your 10th house. It's in the 10th house. Let me do that again. Let me do that again. All right. Now, here's the funniness of this chart on the left. The EP and the AC would almost be in the same house, but it's off by 2. Sometimes they do that. But either way, because I'm trying to tell you something. Either way, on the left chart, this MC is considered the 9th house, but the way this chart is done, it could have been either way. It could have still been the 10th house. But even if it's the 9th house, it's still Sagittarius energy. So we already told you about your connections to Sagittarius energy. And remember, everything I'm saying is based on this full moon chart to the left. This full moon chart is dictating her chart right now. As above, so below. But it still got Mars with Sagittarius, or the 9th house, just like yours does. So, like I said, you can't get past it. This chart is perfect harmony. I've had people contact me, they contact me right at the time the natal, like the chart to the left is telling them, like somehow they know. Maybe it's their guardian angel, or their higher self. Just like something told me to really get into this song. And it was interesting. And the name of the song was like, it's like basically, this night belongs to love or something. Because that's what the Scorpio moon is kind of about. And that's why I said that you got to understand that a guy wrote that song. But everything is local. Like everything I'm trying to tell you is local and unique to me. Like with Spider-Man, that's my favorite hero when I was a kid growing up. Bruce Springsteen, you can't talk about rock and roll music without acknowledging Bruce Springsteen. And you got to remember, I used to be a musician. So all this is telling you, oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And who is Patti Smith? She's that rebel. She came out with the leather jacket on. Who's this Patti Smith? Even as a little kid, I'm studying her. Blah, blah. What is she talking about? What do you mean Jesus Christ is not your savior? What do you mean by that? But she's looking at it from a metaphysical, rock and roll, the darker side and all that stuff. But you got to go through that, because if you studied your Bible, God throws everybody into the deep or the wilderness of the darkness, because it's supposed to make you question. Because God made me question everything. Everything that I was taught, he made me re-question it. And I learned how to look underneath and what's really going on. And some of those people that say stuff like that, they're some of the most spiritual people you would imagine. That's why it was Patti Smith that sung the song that I said. All the people that died. That was a deep, deep, deep spiritual but also metaphysical song. And you can still hear it on the radio now. That song is old, 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 old. But yet, people still play it like he just made it yesterday. All right. Now, just so you know, it's a lot of karma in your Capricorn. And your Capricorn is in your second house. That's your money house. So I really already covered that. But you got to be careful because Pluto retrograde is, look at it, 23 degrees. Pluto retrograde is already going to be an impact. And now 23 degrees is going to be chaotic. So be very, very careful. And I'm going to say it again. If you have your paperwork, make sure you got it. Because some you might deal with people that don't feel like looking it up. They don't want to research it. And yada, yada, yada. Or they may look it up and give you a wrong account anyway. But when you got your own numbers and stuff like that, that's why I said, learn how to speak clearly. Don't be afraid to make sure that person's listening. Because some people say, oh, I'm not gonna ask them to repeat it because they're gonna get offended. But when it's something important, either you repeat it and make sure. Because it's just that type of energy right now. But it is going to be karmic. If you notice Saturn is at 20 degrees, that is a judgment card. And they're going to have 14 again. So they still messing around with that Sagittarius energy. So now what does that tell Capricorn? Be alert. Take your career seriously. And watch anything that could damage your reputation. That goes back to that partying. Be careful with the hanging out and partying. Because under the full moon, it can be expose. And even stuff that you thought was going to be well hidden. Somehow it comes out. Maybe not at this next full moon, but maybe at the next one. Those 2 or 3 weeks or 4 weeks in between. All right, now Aquarius, I would probably tell you follow your Uranus, because Uranus rules Aquarius. And again, your Uranus going right back into Capricorn. At number 12 degrees, which is going to take you right back to your 12th house, is everything I already got finished saying. Pisces also rules the 12th house. And if you notice, Neptune is there with Pisces. But again, Neptune is at 18 degrees. That's the moon card. So we're still talking about the moon energy or the full moon or the high priestess. So that's in the 5th house of fun. So they're kind of encouraging you, instead of using Aries energy to have fun in the 5th house, to make it more spiritual. Maybe meditate. Maybe pay attention to your dreams. Because look at that. Lilith is at 20 degrees too. So all the warnings are, if you go off the whatever, you will be judged. And something about your reputation will be exposed. Because both of those are saying 20 degrees. Lilith retrograde, 20 degrees. And Saturn, 20 degrees in Capricorn. And Capricorn is about career and reputation. Just like this time of year, people start having picnics and parties and all that. Watch your step. You and so-and-so might be at the picnic in the backwoods thinking ain't nobody seeing y'all. Uh-oh, somebody not only saw y'all, but recorded that shit. Now you on YouTube. Woo-hoo. And now your boss want to talk to you. What was you doing with my husband in the woods? And don't you lie, because I got it on camera and everybody's seen it on YouTube. So this is not the time to be slipping and sliding. Slipping and sliding. Dipping and diving. Unzipping and sliding. It's not the time. Them 20s are coming for you. If you do it. Like they're warnings. Those 20s are warnings. Like the universe is telling you what you need to be focusing on and what's going to happen if you don't. Or what could happen if you don't. Now they go back. Then they put Aries in your 6th house, which means service. And look, even Vesta is about service. Anybody tell you that? Vesta in the 6th house is all about the priestess and the home, which is what I told you is your calling. Because people on YouTube, most of the people work from home. And Quiet Revolution, she done did it so good, she's all over. She works from her house, but she's all over. She'll be in LA, she'll be in New York. She go all over with her talents. That's when you know you in high demand. But even Vesta's at 20 degrees. Same thing. All these 20 degrees on this chart are warning your chart that if you don't get serious about your calling, it could be karma to pay, it could be judgment to pay. Because now that judgment does mean judgment. Don't get me wrong. That's why they call it the judgment card. It can also mean absolution. But it all depends on what's going on in the reading. I'm telling you, they warnings. Warning you don't make that mistake of diving in or thinking ain't nobody going to find out. But they're telling you, yes, they are going to find out. We're going to make sure they find out. Now, I already told you about your Taurus looking good. But see, your Taurus is in the 6th house of service. And even your 12th house is about service right now. Because the 6th house and the 12th house are both about service. The 6th house is like your home service, stuff like that. Your 12th house, like if you were serving like other people or somewhere in the church or some other building or something like that. And both Venuses are implying that if you serve, that's where you're going to meet whatever type of love. Right now, Gemini is putting the 8th house to the left to make it go deeper, to have feelings and be more empathetic. Empathetic to others. So that would be good. But that's only for this full moon. Ninth house really is all about Sagittarius energy. And again, but it does have the true north node there at 18 degrees, which is the moon. And it has Juno there at 13 degrees, which is Scorpio energy, or the death card. So when you're Cancer, you got the vertex cross at 21 degrees. So I'm trying to tell you that 21 degrees there is that same 21 degrees in your 12th house. Because that vertex can be your soulmate or your twin flame, which is your twin soul. So that's why I'm telling you, the more you pull yourself in. All right, that time I got the mail. All right. So like I said, you got all these warnings going on with these 20s. All right, so now back to the Cancer. Remember how, see the relationship between Cancer and Virgo. The relationship with Cancer, that's your 4th house family, teenage to adult education, land, real estate or property, family and ancestors, your health, vehicles and travel, the mother of the subconscious mind, and that's Imon Kweli. And she's got a connection to the moon, because the moon rules Cancer, so the moon really rules the 4th house. Now, the home is Virgo, the 6th house. And that's also home and service or daily activities, but it can connect to your job too. A lot of people don't know that, but your 6th house can also be connected to your 10th house. Because any daily activity or duties, it might just be your job. It could also be co-workers or subordinates, depending on if you have a position of authority at your job or the manager. Or so your 12th house is all about that service. It's about turning your life into whatever you want to call it, clairvoyance, psychic, whatever is available. You see all these people out here on YouTube that are doing it. And what happens is nobody tells people to dive into things because, you don't want to dive in. But when you don't do it, at some time the universe will start to do things. And that's why over here, whenever you see Pluto retrograde in that Capricorn, that could be trouble at the job or getting fired or whatever. But whatever's going on, it's still going to be karmic because you have Saturn retrograde there as well with Pluto retrograde. But when you're bringing yourself into your universal purpose, it will work itself out. It might be a tough transition, but it will work itself out. But the main thing you want to do is get where you need to be, what your purpose is. And that's what they're trying to tell you with these charts. With these 2 charts. And both these medial qualities are also 27 degrees. And when I just told you all about Cancer and Virgo, I didn't know that. I was just talking from what I'm seeing on the chart. I didn't know both of these is 27 degrees. I wasn't even looking at that. Even that shit is shocking me. Like both of these charts are like almost, they real similar, but that's how the universe works. That's why I'm loyal to what I do. That's why I lost. Y'all don't know how much money I lost because I refuse to dumb down. And I'm sorry people are mad at me, but I'm telling you, you're not going to get what you're looking for if you don't do it the way the universe is telling you to do it. That's why all these people in separation. And let me explain something else to you. So what do? So you sleep around. Let's keep it 100. So now you're sleeping around. So if you think that's not going to be a problem with bad karma and sin, and I know y'all don't want to believe that stuff, but it's still real. And I mean, like I said, like I grew up with dumbass people. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm not afraid to say it. Because I came up. That's why people, I'm offended. But you be real offended. Let's say there really is a hell. You're going to be real offended if you burning in hell. So that's why somebody got to shake your ass up. That's why when you have friends, when you was hanging out and you was getting too loose and getting too crazy, and one of your friends finally grabbed your ass up and hit you with reality, that's what I do. So thank me later. You know what I'm saying? So that's really where we're at. Because I just showed y'all, again, that's why I said this ain't no entertainment. People think this bubblegum astrology. Oh, you think you're going to come here and take and never get back, and karma ain't going to get you. Karma going to get you. That's a fact. So you can't act like 1 minute you want the universe to help you with your life, but then once the universe hits you with reality, now you think you're just going to go to somebody else's channel. You got to understand the universe is a person that has feelings. We call it Ma. Collectively, it's Ma. And you're not going to play Ma out because it's karma. That's when karma's coming and get you. Ha ha ha. And I see it all the time. So my job is to tell you what it really is. That's my universal responsibility. And then after that, I wash my hands clean. because I've taught you, I've done the best I can. There's nothing else I can do. But you have to remember, for every action, there's going to be a reaction. And when you're disobedient, mama's going to put you in the wilderness. And that's when you walking around wishing, oh, why, and all that. Because you hard-headed, that's why. Bring yourself in harmony with your universal purpose while you're here, and then watch your life change. And I'm not saying everything's going to be perfectly better, but it will be better. And also, you're still going to have struggle like everybody else, but you won't have all this crazy low level, like animalistic behavior that people got going on. That's not going to be smiled upon by the universe. All right, now in the career sector of the universe is Leo. Now, I've been doing a lot of readings for Leo, and they say, oh, Leo, you're going to be promoted. Oh, Leo. Now, my particular, that might be for other Leos. For me, that might not be the case. I wouldn't get a promotion, but it might be a better understanding, because I got health problems. So it might be a better understanding of health problems or stuff like that in the career sector. So when you see Leo in the 10th house, so we already did Capricorn and Saturn. We already did that. So we're going to find her Leo. So she's got Leo in the 9th house. But again, remember, 9th house, and she's also got 9 degrees there, Virgo energy. So it's also addressing a heal, something that needs to be healed that hasn't healed yet. And that 25 is like higher law, universal law. But that's what I was trying to tell people. See, your 9th house is about higher law, higher courts. So you might just, but that's why they dumb you down. That's why everything I told you is for a reason. Let's just backtrack a little bit. Let's just say I told you the 8th house and all that, the real people of God and all that. Let's say you were in that bloodline. Or let's say you are reincarnated like a real spiritual person. You understand? Let's just say you are a reincarnated spiritual person of God. But now they got you so dumbed down you don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you like anybody. Dumbed down you don't know. So on your natal chart, in your 9th house, which is the higher self, that's really the high priestess, the male and the masculine and feminine coming back together. You got 25 degrees, almost at the peak. Now 25 degrees is universal law. This is why they told, and that's really Saturn. If you really want to get into it, December 21st is really about Saturn and Saturnalia, that whole week. And this universe right here, for people that really know this stuff, is Saturn that's running it. In fact, they be talking about Saturn. Planet Saturn has like antennas and all that stuff out here. Like what we're running, some high-tech scientific circuit where Saturn is the boss. And that's why when you read the Bible, they say Satan. So now, that's when they said 25 was the birth date of Jesus. But they also say Jesus was just Horus from Egypt. But the reason why they chose the date 25, because that 25 represents universal law. Now, what does that mean? Now, we keep telling you about karma. Because they're telling you that whatever you do is going to be a karmic response. But if you don't know this stuff, that's why I said when you be saying, like you watch all these movies, like take the movie Menace to Society. Now, what they may not realize is every last one of them dudes may be ancient whatever. Ancient prophets, ancient this, ancient that. But now they in this particular dumbed down, racist area. So every time they do what they do, they bring in bad karma. And that's why somebody always getting shot or somebody always getting murdered and all that. You think these people that put you in them places don't know that? That's why it requires thinking. But if anybody was listening when I did that chart, they already proved it. She can not only think it, she can understand it. And that's why I said she deals with me. She ain't dealing with no dumbass that's going to be lying to her, taking her money. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's coming. Oh, your divine masculine is calling you. Oh, your Venus is almost close to Libra. That means love is coming soon. And you out here fool like these fools out here falling for that foolishness. You know what I'm saying? They out here falling for that. They mad at me. What I ever do to any of these people try to help them? My price is way low. You know what I'm saying? You hear me complaining about cash? My price is way low. I'm trying to help motherfuckers. Like, I'm out here ripping you off. That's why this shit funny to me. And that's why I come back with a fierceness of a Leo. You ain't stopping me. I'm that lion that's in the jungle that everybody want them dead. You ain't killing me. This shit funny to me to see all these weak ass. Like, y'all better wake up. Because then when all of them burning, they going to be mad. So no, nobody. Yeah, somebody did tell you. You ain't listen. Once you go in, you're not getting out. That's like, they want to walk around, but they don't want to understand the map. Everything has a map. When you don't use the map, your natal charts, the Bible, Holy Scripture, anything. These are maps of what's going to happen. And these people think they're just going to jump in astrology, get what they want from it, and keep on moving. No, you're going to pay for everything. You're going to pay for the stuff you rejected to learn. You're going to pay for the stuff you used. You're going to pay for the people you turned your back on that was trying to help you. You're going to pay for everything. This whole thing is karmic. That's why I said, if you listen to most of these people on YouTube, they said Scorpio moon, karmic moon, karmic moon. But what do you think karmic mean? Are you really that uneducated? Or you just want to have fun? So you don't care what it means. But you will care when you got to pay that karma back. So your ninth house ruled by Sagittarius, which means higher self, high priestess, higher self, means you got 25 degrees, which means it's karmic, which means it's a higher law, which means when you violate it, you have a higher law to pay. Because that's what that means. 25 means the law. This is universal law, and it's in the house of higher law. Which means when you do something, you have a more closer chance of seeing karma a lot faster than most people. So that's why I'm saying again, you got to be careful what you do. And if you try to understand what I'm saying, the chart to the left represents the master circuit or the master computer. Any other chart I put against this one, they have to submit. This would be the Trump chart. This would be the Trump chart, the Trump circuit. And every other chart, if you were listening, is going to bow down to it. Like I said, most people don't like to think. So even though I'm trying to go slow and explain everything, they really don't want to think about it. They want to go right back to, oh, can I get some cake now? Like you put somebody in a classroom where all kind of deep stuff is being said. And when the only question they ask is something like, oh, is there a candy machine outside? I'm hungry. Because these people have been so dumbed down, they just don't care. But they don't understand you're going to be judged by this. To the left. This is going to judge you. This is the master. Everything you see up in the sky from the day to the nighttime, that's going to bring judgment at some point. And this is why these people are so intense on cutting you off from astrology. And they make you think it's evil to use it. Because that's what's going to judge you. And this is why right now, if you go on channels such as mine, my two channels, anything that's talking about above for May 18th, this full moon, they blocking out the picture. They giving you a hard way to go to upload. They blocking out the picture. And I know people that normally have higher views, but on their May 19th, their May 18th Scorpio full moon videos, they were real low views because they wasn't getting the push they normally get for the people that run this site. Because they're blocking and hiding it. So, moving on. So that's your Leo. Now, Leo is there because, again, You're being given leadership, bold energy, energy of courage, but you're also being told, like you keep being told, that you're going to be responsible. So it says those who have higher responsibility have higher whatever expectation. Or like when a preacher messes up, it's almost like people say, well, you're a preacher. At least that's how it used to be. I don't know about now. But back in the good old days, a preacher couldn't crack any type of joke. Because the moment he cracked, oh, you're a preacher, you shouldn't be talking like that. So it was a higher expectation because of your position. So that's what you got kind of going on in your 9th house. So your 5th house is ruled by Leo, but you got to make sure that you don't have so much fun with the Aries energy in your 5th house that you mess up your reputation and stuff. That's going to be part of your 9th house, but also wherever you see Capricorn, add on your chart, and also your 10th house. And you have to be careful because your EP is 28 degrees, and that could be extremes too. So you might have a fight with extremes. So you have to learn how to become more balanced. And ironically, in your 10th house, is that your 10th house? Because see, the reason why I keep these two charts are off by 1. So even though I'm looking at this chart and that chart, but they're off by 1. Well, let me see. So I already discussed Libra when I went over it. When I went over Libra, I already discussed that because it has to be balanced and it's also going to be legal. But I did that from the beginning. All right. Now, Leo. We already did Virgo, and your Virgo's in your... I'm looking at the chart on the left up. This Virgo's in the 11th house of friends, association, and groups. And that's okay. That's like you make friends, association, groups like your home. Like, so that's not a bad thing. And on your chart, you can see that's how you get money. And that's how you do it. Like it could be a home business, and these are like your clients as well. They're your friends, associates, but they're also your clients. And that's how you get money. And if Libra's in the 11th house like yours is, it can also be just having a social frame of mind, having a relationship, a social frame of mind. But it could still be, like I said, a business relationship also. All right. So that is a Scorpio moon for her. Everything was talked about, relationships. Basically, they're saying she has to get more involved with her calling, and then her relationship will become more of a reality. And I'm talking primarily about her twin flame, twin soul relationship. Twin flame is a twin soul. Finances, we already saw that as well. If she's more into her calling, finances are looking good. Career, she has to be real careful right now, because right now it's real karmic with the career, and it could blow up in the face if she's not careful. Scorpio stuff, be very careful of Scorpio stuff, because with Aries and a Scorpio, it can be extreme, and it's definitely going to be like karma, the karmic payback for being too extreme or not, staying too Scorpio-ish can cause problems. Service, for again, her service primarily should be, trying to start her own whatever you want to call it, psychic business, or whatever, card reading, whatever you want to do. That's the service that'll bless her as well. Her Aquarius is really her Uranus right now. And her Uranus is in the Capricorn because, like I said, Uranus is at 12, which again, it took her to the 12th house. And the 12th house is, her 12th house is about her career. We already covered that because even her Pluto is 21 degrees, and that's Saturn, and Saturn rules Capricorn, which is career. But we already covered all that. If you said, what about friends? Again, we already covered that. Like, that's the 11th house energy. And your friends and things, they could also become clients. And you would be helping them too. And family. The chart on the right puts family in the 9th house. Yeah, they are. Cause look at her. Look at the 4th house. The 4th house is Aquarius, but that's going to still take you to the 11th house. So right now they're putting family, the home, friends, associates. They all putting it under pretty much Aquarius energy or Uranus energy or 11th house energy. And they keep saying that if she does that, then she's going to meet that Juno or that vertex cross. Like they will do that. Like the more you do this, they will do that. Like they'll kind of, like even me, they try to say, oh, you know, your money would be better if you did it this way. So that they definitely do that. You kind of see it in the scriptures. Like if you was in a Christian church, they would say, well, you know, the Lord ain't blessing you because you ain't doing this. If you went ahead and did that, the Lord would bless you. So you hear it even in the Christian church. So you definitely do see that. So they're kind of telling her, you got to get to the... like the implication is like, which might not fully be her fault because she may not have known this. But the implication almost is like you're somebody really special, but you're way out over here and you need to get over here so we can start blessing you. Because if you keep hanging out over there, we're going to start really getting you. Like with all these 20s going to start being judgment on you. And remember, like I said, you got to remember, the chart on the right is like baby, R2D2. For all the other sorts, Star Wars. So no matter how smart R2D2 is, that's the baby R2D2. But over here to the left is the parent. This would be like the motherboard. This is like the big balls. So the big balls show up and that baby gotta submit to the big balls when you put them together. Now if I was just doing her natal chart, it would all be about her. But when this one comes, this is the one that's dictating how that one gonna go. And when you get your horoscopes done, that's what they're doing. They're reading you your horoscope based on a master chart, like the day's master chart. And that's how you get your daily horoscope. And even if a psychic reads it from the cards, if she's dealing with the real, then those spirits she's working with are getting their information off that this master board to the left. The motherboard, the master board. As above, so below. So that will conclude this reading. Remember, we got sales going on everything. And now I put it right in the description box as services offered. You can see it like that. You can always contact if you have any questions. And again, we do anything paranormal. So you know, oh, I don't need to know. I don't only just do anything. I do anything, just like I just said. I do anything paranormal, and we do everything. But like you got it there. You can always request it. You can always contact me and request the most recent services offered and price list, or you can see it down in there. Or like I said, if you have any questions, you can also contact. This is Get. It's been a pleasure. God bless.